$7.14. $7.10. So these numbers are going down. What's 721? I must have passed it, right?
I think get down that way.
Down that, I see 722. Okay, it has to be somewhere in between here and there. 7:15. So that's 7:15. That's 7:16. So 7:21 has to be in this area here. Oh, arrow's pointing that way, 7:21. Let's check it out. A little artwork on the wall, pretty good. Okay, this must be 7:21 right here. That's why I passed by it. So it's on the outside. It says room 224. 7:21 there. Okay. A lot of information for you guys. A lot of pictures up here. You guys can see all those. It's probably from back in the 40s and 50s, maybe sooner. This looks like a map of the downtown Boston area. Great about downtown Boston area anyway. Okay. Let's see if we can. I got cookies. If you're hungry, welcome back. Hope this makes you a little sweeter. Let's see if anybody comes out. See how that works. This thing never clears up the right way. Okay. Let's see. I'm not too sure what kind of buttons these are. Turn slowly. Hands free. Look both ways. I think that's about it. I guess this is probably. Is anybody working the front desk, you know?
So I'll direct you to somebody who.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out like who's in charge of like signage and streets and like zoning, all that kind of stuff.
So it really depends on what the issue is.
Okay, basically there's a building in Roxbury, and what they have is a bus lane that they put in the middle of the street.
Okay.
So the elderly building does not have adequate ramps for the pick up and drop off senior citizens and elderly people, and the ambulance for the pick them up for dialysis and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I went down to the what they call Age Strong Committee, and they referred me up here.
Okay.
So they said to talk to somebody up here and find out what's going on.
Sure, is this Columbus Ave?
It's Columbus Ave, and well, that might be Seaver Street. Seaver and Seaver and Washington Street, because it's on the other side. So Seaver's on one side, Columbus is on the other side.
So that's still, so it changes names at Walnut. So that's still Columbus.
That's still Columbus, right? That's what I
Yeah.
thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the Roundhouse building?
The Roundhouse, Doris Bunty building, correct. Are you Carmine?
Sorry?
Carmine? You're not
No,
Carmine,
not
okay.
Carmine. My name's Matt.
There's a guy named Carmine. I called him like a month ago. He's supposed to get back to me, but he didn't get back to me. So
I don't know the Carmine that works at PTD, but I could be wrong.
maybe he works in something else.
Okay.
But he did say the name Carmine, and I don't know which department he works in.
Okay. Well, if you, so I guess you didn't call 311. You just
I called 311 multiple times. They don't have any answers for that.
Okay.
So I talked to I think her name is Lorna in the Age Strong. I called the Elderly Commission, but Age Strong Committee.
Yeah.
And she referred me up here. She's aware of the issue. I guess they're aware of it, but
Okay.
she said that's out of her department.
Do you have the address of Columbus Ave?
I want to say it's 1990 Columbus Ave.
Okay. Let's get something to write that down with.
And so far I've been getting pushed back and forward, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that one. And we've got to handle issue by issue. Let's see what else we got here. I guess.
You said 1919 Columbus?
I believe it's 1919 Columbus Ave. I could be wrong, but you just type in the Doris Bunty building, it'll come up. It'll come up. Doris Bunty. You guys should know who Doris Bunty is. You don't know who Doris Bunty is?
I apologize, but
You don't know? You been living in the city of Boston?
Elton City, yeah.
You never heard of Doris Bunty? She passed away like I think a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a big advocate for Boston housing.
Oh, cool. BUNTE?
Say it again. Bunty, B-U-N-T. I think it's yeah.
Do you have a phone number or an email address?
Nezer42 is Nezer 42 at hotmail.com.
NEZ42 at hotmail.com.
Nezer 42.
Okay. And the phone number?
617 710
710
1928.
928. And your name, I'm sorry.
Nezer Porter.
Okay. okay, so it's the Doris Puente building.
Mm-hmm.
And just so I can give a little more context, that's not, I know there's an official name for it, but the Roundhouse Tower, it's not that.
Well, that's what they used to call it. So you're on the right track.
Yeah.
When you say Roundhouse Tower, it's written by Boston Housing.
Yeah, right.
So Roundhouse Tower, they converted that name over, and I don't know when, but maybe I want to say in the last 3, maybe 4 years, they changed it to Darvis Bunty building.
Okay,
But if you refer to it as a Roundhouse Towers, they should know what it is.
great. And have you talked with Boston Housing Authority yet about this?
It's not a Boston Housing issue. That's why, because it's on the city street.
Right.
And so what happened was the MBTA planned something without the knowledge of the building itself, without the neighbors, without even probably no, the city had to know. The city know that the city knew.
Yeah.
So somehow they got it through the zoning board, and I don't know how the zoning board approved of that because the firefighters say it's a fire safety hazard. The EMT say it's a safety hazard when you got to pick up people for the elderly building and take them to the hospital, because theoretically you have nowhere to park. You have to park into the McDonald's parking lot to service the elderly building. And it's this construction started like almost a year ago. And they were well aware of it. That was an elderly building. That building been there for years, so it's not like they didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
And you every time you call 311 said, we'll get back to you, They never get back to you. So now,
So we can direct certain little things. I know from the process, so this wouldn't have gone through zoning board because it's not a change to a building. So that's what typically.
well, that's part of a zone too, though. Because I don't know if you know that that's supposed to be the that's supposed to be the evacuation route for the city of Boston. So
Perhaps.
in the event of a major emergency, that road, which is Columbus Ave that turns into Seaver Street,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a major evacuation route to evacuate out of the city. I don't know, ever since 9/11, we're supposed to establish a evacuation route and event something happened in the city of Boston to safely evacuate the residents out of the city. And that's one of the routes that you'll be using to get out of the city.
Well, either way, it wouldn't
That's
have gone
route, actually, that's
through-
Route 28. It's Route 28. That's a major route. So that's something that we'll have to, why would you put a bus lane in a major route? That's like putting a bus lane in Route 9, you know what I mean?
It's a little bit. Well, I'll get to that in a second. But it's on a zoning board of appeals issue because zoning board of appeals deals with buildings and structures, not
Gotcha.
with roads and streets and that sort of thing. So it went through the Public Improvement Commission, which, not to confuse it, but that's a different.
So who's in charge of that?
That's the chief of streets.
That guy, Chris Osgood.
Yeah, we're the chief.
He don't return my phone calls.
We're the chief engineer of. Since he went to a different role, it's now the chief engineer for public works.
So, oh my God. So that explains it all.
Well,
So Chris Osgood in charge of all that?
but either way, this project I know went through a pretty substantial community process, and I know.
But if it went through a community process, I tell you this right now, nobody in the community approved of it. And the reason why I know, I actually talked to people on the street.
Yeah, so I know it did go through community process. I know that there were a lot of voices from the community that spoke in support of it, including people at the PIC hearing for the project.
So, but keep in mind, this was all done during COVID.
Yeah, it was.
You're right. So half the people that don't have access to computers, and half the people don't even, like a lot of elderly people that, like for example, the Roundhouse building. How are those elderly people going to get to the meeting?
Well, and I know before COVID there were also public meetings about it as well, because this has
Yeah.
been going on for several years. But either way, I can look into the specific issue at the
Right.
address about
Now, and then the other part too is, does that meet fire safety code as far as apparatus and accessing that building?
So yes,
It does.
it does. Because we cleared it with the fire department before it went.
Does it meet with the EMTs too? Because they're supposed to have I don't know if you noticed now, every single LD building I went to in the city of Boston has a spot for ambulance to pull up in front of the building. This is the only building that does not have one.
So it wouldn't have had one before.
It had one before. It did. Trust me, it had one.
But
It definitely had one.
either way, we can look into the specific issue and try and get back to you.
Gotcha. Now, my question is, how long would it take to get back to me? Because I spoke to 3 different people. One person said they don't return phone calls. Carmine, I think he was one of the gentlemen that said that he don't return phone calls. But I guess he did try to call me back. He said he has an investigator supposed to investigate it. So my question is, how long does it take to investigate something that you can clearly see?
So I know from a technical standpoint, this was approved by the various agencies that had to approve a
Gotcha.
project like this. So I think there was comfort within the city, within the MBTA that met all the applicable
Yeah.
codes. And that was about a year ago when things were fully approved. So, but again, I can sort of circle back with you about the access to the building, and maybe
Right.
there's something that could happen off of Walnut Park or another.
And if you have you ever been down that area before?
Yes.
If you look at it real carefully, if you say you spend a few hours down there, especially when they're doing deliveries for the building, picking up, dropping off elderly people, taking them to dialysis, whatever they're doing, or if an ambulance or a fire truck has to pull up to that building, the fire trucks have to literally go into the McDonald's parking lot because they cannot pull into the front of the building. Even the EMTs got to take the patients out of the building, wheel them to the McDonald's parking lot while cars are there going through the drive-through. And even the EMTs find it's not suitable for them. So the other part is, what are they gonna do in the wintertime?
And do you live in a building?
I don't live in a building, no. My biggest thing was no one's advocating for the elderly people.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a couple of people at Elderly Commission, Age Strong Commission, which they call it now, and she agrees, but they only can act on what's going on inside the building, not what's on the outside of the building.
So what I could do is I will also, in addition to sort of circling back with you, I'll also reach out to the Boston Housing Authority and see if they have any technical changes that they want, because I know we consulted with them before the project went live.
Yeah.
I wasn't the project manager for this.
Right.
I wasn't as in the weeds as my colleague was, but I know he
Gotcha.
had extensive meetings with the BHA staff. So
Yeah, Boston Housing, who's in charge of Boston Housing right now?
I'm not sure of the name, to be honest with you.
Gotta find out. They're still on Chauncey Street, right?
I'm sorry?
52 Chauncey Street, that's where they're located?
Yeah.
Okay, I know where they are.
We can reach out to their staff and see if there's anything that they would
Yeah,
recommend, because
that's
they're probably
interesting.
involved with the building and they're involved with the operations, and they would have a good understanding of what the sort of needs are
Right.
specific to the building. And I know there's outreach to meetings held with building residents, so I can circle back to William and see if there's anything that he.
I don't think they reached out to the residents.
I know he did. He had
Did he select the residents? Did he go through all the residents, or he just selected which ones he wanted to?
So I don't know the
talk to.
details, and if I can just finish.
Yeah,
talking,
go ahead, yeah.
Please. So I can reach out to him and see exactly what those conversations entailed,
Uh-huh.
and see if there were any red flags that were raised then, or if he wants to reach back out
Uh-huh.
and see if there's any additional feedback that folks would want to give.
Right.
As I said, this was a very extensive and lengthy public process, so
Mhm.
if there were things that weren't discovered during that process, I know that there's always room for changes or room for corrections.
Right.
We can certainly reach back out and see what those look like.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to find out what they're gonna do about it, because like they should have addressed those issues before they started doing the work.
And that's the other thing too, is this is construction. So things are gonna look different when construction's finished.
Well, no, that's not gonna look
Final
different.
condition.
If you look at the front of that building, what's there is gonna be there. It's concrete
It's the
pillars.
platform,
Yeah, it's the whole platform. It's everything. And I don't know if you know that trucks are hitting signs as they go through there too. The big 18-wheelers that go through there,
Yeah.
they're hitting the parking signs because they're so close to the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, let me
Yeah.
circle back with William and see what he's been doing. He's been more intimately involved than I have.
Right,
I've been
right.
involved with the project, but not to the
Not
extent that he
directly,
has.
right.
Yeah.
I understand.
So
And your name again?
Matt,
Matt. Okay, I'm Nez. Nez Porter. Yeah.
nice to meet you.
All right, I'll be keeping in touch with you.
Yeah.
All right,
sounds good.
cool.
And sorry I didn't have more answers for you. I just circled
There was
back.
another guy here before last year. It wasn't you. Who's like the director here? Isn't like the director of transportation?
So there's the commissioner.
It might have been him, but I talked to him last year, well before COVID,
Oh, okay.
and he gave me a lot of details about like how they plan to do Nubian Square over, the blueprints,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. I got his name at the house, but I don't have it with me.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was good talking to you. Hopefully we can rectify some issues there. Take care.
Hey, you too. Have a
All
good
right.
day.
I'll probably check in within a couple of weeks and see what's going on.
Yeah.
That sounds good?
That sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. Take care. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the Darvis Bunty building. I've been calling down there for like some time, and I've gotten a lot of pushback. They claim that it went through a meeting process, but I'm not too sure what kind of meeting they had, because all the people in the building don't recall any meeting I don't think Boston Housing approved of anything that I know of anyway. We'll find out. We'll check with Boston Housing, see what they approved of as well. No more than 5 people in the elevator. Huh. That's interesting. Go down to 5. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Yeah, now that Kim Jenny's mayor, who's taking her spot?
Oh, Matt O'Malley.
Matter, is he available? Or somebody from his office?
All right, let me check.
Because even though they change positions, the work doesn't stop working, right?
No.
It still keeps going? Okay. So I'll do some follow-ups.
What's your name again?
Mr. Porter,
What?
they should know who I am by now. If not, they'll figure it out sooner or later.
Hold on, someone's on the line, so just wait, okay?
Oh, sure, no problem. Gotcha.
Hey, what's going on? How you been? Good to see you. All right? Yeah. How's the little one?
Good, she's 2.5.
Wow, that's cool, huh?
My son is 9 months.
Huh?
I had a son that was born
Wow.
that dry. He's 9 months.
Phew.
He's
That's
just,
good, Joe. You keep it straight, you know?
he's probably gonna come all the way any day now. Yeah, sure, I'm sorry, not go, walk. He's not, he said dead yesterday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I know, so, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's cool, well.
Yeah. He yesterday.
Yeah.
This roll of people right here, you guys should be familiar with. That's May Menino. I'm not too sure who that gentleman is there. I forget his name. That's Charles Yancey. And these other people, they look familiar, but I don't know their names. It should be up there. It's kind of hard to see it. They got it in a peculiar spot that you can't really read it. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it was, I think to your point, I think it was over 100, I think it was better than 2 seasons, but it was like, it was almost like one once. And all the outside, so you know, there was another one, there was some too, yeah, hey, down one, but there's not a lot, you know, saying dead guy, and you're supposed to walk in dead guy. So, we gotta get this one. Maybe when you jump out of a plane, like this. I'm never gonna do that, I do for you, always.
Thank you. All right, take care.
Yeah. Congrats, Joe.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, but,
How you doing? Say again? You said somebody's back there?
You know what's office?
I'm not too sure exactly where. Take it to the left.
You can go here.
Hey, thank you, sir. How you doing? I had a couple of questions. When Kim Janey was city council, I came down here a couple of times for some Freedom of Information Acts, and they said they'd get back to me, and it's about a year and some change, and I haven't got any information back. So, trying to figure what's the status of that.
Sure. Actually, I think I
Yeah.
Do you go to mutual aid on Fridays?
Probably do.
Okay. I think I recognize you. I help out with down in that area on Fridays.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I just
you're,
got a haircut,
yeah.
so-
You know what? You're absolutely right. Now I know who you are now.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about that. I know obviously we're the council president's office. Or
Gotcha, yeah,
pro
yeah.
tempore. But have you? I know the Councilor Janie's office is right down the hall, so I don't know if you've been able to talk to them.
I tried to talk to everybody. I haven't got anything back. So, like, somebody told me, they got 10 days under the Freedom of Information Act to respond back, and it's been way over 10 days, and I got nothing. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going on. Like, they took the information now, so it's not like they didn't get the
It's not
information.
like they don't, yeah.
Right. So I'm trying to figure, okay, what happened? Like, they took the information and never get back to me.
Gotcha.
Like, twice they did that. So,
Yeah. No. I mean.
yeah.
If you want, I can walk you down.
Yeah, I thought I'd find out what's going on, because since I'm in the building, I'm going to touch all the bases at one time,
Sure, yeah. And you said Mr. Porter, right?
Mr. Porter, yeah. They should know who I am by now.
Yeah. How's it going, Mike?
Okay.
Yeah, when you said that, you kind of threw me off. You said, but then I realized I'm so many places in the city of Boston.
Yeah.
It's like kind of hard to remember exactly where I've been the last couple of days.
Exactly. Hello?
Yeah, I just want to.
How's it going?
Yeah.
So my name is Peter. I'm from Councilor O'Malley's office.
Okay, hey, hi.
Nice to meet you. And this is Mr. Porter. He actually had a question for your office, so I
Sure.
just wanted to bring him down.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay, a couple of years ago, I came down here. I wanted some
What's your name again?
Mr. Oh.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Peter Fabio.
Here, awesome, thank you, man.
So I'm just trying to get some information on there was some information between ISD and the city council's office back in 2018, and I want to know what the information was, and they said they would get it back to me. It's been it's almost 2 years now and haven't got back to me yet. So I'm trying to figure what's going on with that.
Okay, when do you feel comfortable coming back here?
Oh, sure, I can come back there. Every time I call on the phone, they said they get back to me. They never get back to me. So
You can just grab a seat in that couch and let me just grab my notebook.
okay.
You can take off your mask if you're comfortable with it.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
All right. Your-
Nezer Porter. So Nezer, last name Porter, Porter.
Okay, and what's the address you're inquiring about?
8 Linwood Square in Roxbury.
Zero two one one nine.
That's correct.
Okay. And so ZBA in 2018.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. What's your phone number? What's a good number?
617
Yeah.
710 1928.
Okay. And is Linwood Square your house or the place that you're working on?
No, that was my house.
Okay. What's that project address?
What do you mean the project? That's the address.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That
So
is
it's work
it.
for your house. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got ZBA approval in 2018.
No, what happened was the house caught on fire in 2018.
Okay.
ISD appointed it to a receivership. The receivership was one receiver got out of it because she didn't want to get involved, and then another receiver was appointed, which was Joshua Krevitz. I guess he was appointed by ISD through the courts. Somehow they managed to do that. I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out what was the involvement of the city council at the time, because from what I understand, it was information back and forth between ISD and the chief of staff, which was then, I don't know if the chief of staff is still here now. And so there was information that was emailed back and forth, and I guess at one point they were told to conversate over the telephone rather than email.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get all the information right there, find out what's going on with that.
Okay. So when's the last time you've been in touch with ISD?
Well, ISD, they don't want to, they don't even want to answer anything I have to tell them.
Okay.
So basically, what happened was, it's a lot of corruption going on. So it's you got ISD, you got Bill Solberg. They never gave me his route. He's not even supposed to be assigned that district. So they somehow he ended up at that district. Bill Solberg, I'm pretty sure you know who he is. He's been there for years. Ed Colburn, who's the attorney of ISD, he was involved, and him and I guess you call Joshua Krevitz are like buddy. So, and that's how that worked out. So the receiver is supposed to work for the homeowner, if I'm not mistaken, or behalf of the homeowner, correct? That how it's supposed to work?
I honestly don't know.
I find out,
But I can find out.
well, technically he was more on their side than my side.
Okay.
So when all said and done, they sold the house. So the house is sold. I don't get the proceeds. I get nothing out of it. So where do the proceeds go?
Okay.
And then the judge, she's just as bad as the rest of them. So Irene Bagdalio, you probably heard of her name. Courtroom 12, right across the street over there.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to deal with one issue at a time. So I'm trying to find out here all the information, any information you have on 8 Linwood Square. And I requested that about 2 years ago, and they haven't sent me anything back. I know there is information because I saw information, so I want to see what they have from the city council's office.
Okay.
Right.
And when's the last time you've had contact with this office?
Oh, I called. That was like 2 years ago. I contacted them. They said they'd get back to me. I came down here twice, at least twice, and they still haven't got back to me. So I figured I'll come down here again to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Now, according
Today's the official first day that we've been open.
Yes, I know. I understand that. That's why I came down here. Because if they say if they're fully open, you should be fully open, correct?
It's in transition, but yes.
But according to the governor of the state, he said everything is fully open.
So the
Now-
governor has different, like this is a city of Boston.
Right.
thing, So this is.
So the governor basically made up his own thing.
Well, each city and town has the ability to kind of set their own.
So why did he say the state is fully open if it's not fully open?
So the state allows cities and towns to be fully open.
Gotcha.
And then it's up to individual cities
Each
and towns.
city to figure out how they're going to do it.
What they're gonna do it based on their own COVID rates.
So the state's not fully open either, though, because if you go down to the registry of motor vehicles, they're not fully open.
I don't,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it, yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
And then may I ask, like, I mean, it's been 2 years since you've,
It's been 2 years. I haven't got any information.
okay.
Not even a reply, but hey, at least say, hey, we found this. Hey, we found. Now, according to Chapter 60, whatever they quoted to me, the Freedom of Information Act, they have 10 days to respond. and that's way over 10 days. So what is the penalty if you don't respond?
Have you
Nothing.
submitted a FOIA request? A Freedom
Oh yeah,
of
they
Information?
took it. They took it. They got all the information.
Who's they?
The people who came down here, when I came down here last time, he wrote down all the information for like almost a good half an hour,
Yeah,
and said he'd get back to me. He never got back to me.
okay. So how did, I don't know the process, so I'm trying to learn more. So when you say ISD, it went into receivership, and this guy Josh had it. I mean, I assume there's a mortgage on the house, like how did it?
No, there's no mortgage on the house. House is bought and paid off in full.
Okay.
Right. That's probably one of the reasons
You
why.
owned the house prior to that?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay, here, hang tight for a minute, I'm just curious to
Mhm.
look something up.
Yep. Well, they actually thought I was an elderly person when they came down there too. So that's another issue.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that as of today. I thought it was starting, didn't know that walk-ins were welcome already, but not a problem. Let me just check something.
I figure I gotta touch all the bases while I can, you know. And just to play devil's advocate, I guess there is a new commissioner in ISD. I would call down there just to see what they say. If all the work stopped because they have a new commissioner, or does this keep going?
All the work, like on that house, you mean?
No, the work in general, like people, files, you know, a lot of hands on switch in the last 6 months. So I know that. But the question is, just because the hand switched, does the work stop? That's interesting too. We'll look into that.
It's 8 Linwood Square.
Right, that's correct.
So it looks like it's a condo building.
Right. It's now a condo, but it wasn't a condo before. It was a single family house.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3 units. I was just trying to figure out like who is listed as like the main owner. You can't really tell. So what, I guess my question is that if it's sold and other people own it now, like, what is your, like,
Well, my
what
thing
is
is-
your ask? Like,
I'm asking for all the information that was on it. It was transferred back and forth between city council's office to ISD. So apparently there were some emails that were transferred back and forth.
Okay.
I want to be able to examine and review those documents that were transmitted back and forth.
Okay, so we don't have copies of emails.
Well,
or
they
I don't have access to
they
copies
should
of
have it
emails.
somewhere. All that's supposed to be public record, just so you know.
I do, yeah, so you can submit a public records request.
And that's what I've done. So now I'm trying to figure out what happened to it.
I would go back to the person who you submitted that request with.
That was through Kim Janey's office.
So so we would not handle that request.
So
Like
who?
there's an official like office of public records where you, I think that's the name of it, where you make.
So where's that office at?
I honestly don't know. I can try to find out for you. And
So my thing is this: I was told that you can go to any city official in their office and request that information. And if you cannot write it down, they should be able to write it down for you and then do it.
yeah, I can find out if that is in fact true. My gut tells me it's not.
So
And so like if a newspaper
Right.
wants copies of all the emails that took place for
Uh-huh.
a period of time or around a certain issue,
gotcha. Yeah.
there's like the legal counsel for the city council
Mm-hmm.
who they make that request to. And then that office contacts us and says, here's a notice,
Right.
someone has requested a Freedom of Information Act.
Now, if you go to that office directly, like the office itself, if they have it readily available, shouldn't they be able to give it to you?
Well, possibly, yeah, but I can be honest with you, like, we don't have, like, I don't have access to emails from 2018.
Right. See, back then they should have been able to access it. You would hope so, anyway. So right now, how do we deal with that now? How do we go about getting that information?
I mean, I don't even know if folks who you dealt with are still here.
They're probably not. That's the whole thing.
And
That's
I
what
don't know
that's my whole
if-
thing when I said because it changes hands, does the work stop? I don't know if you heard me say that earlier.
Yeah, I don't know if the work stops.
Yeah,
I don't
so
think
the work- so-
stops, but in terms of like what the records that you're trying to track down,
Right.
if the staff folks aren't here
Mhm.
anymore, I honestly don't know. My gut tells me that because their accounts are shut down and all that, like you can't access their information because their account doesn't exist. But I don't want that. to
That's not
deter you.
true
If
either.
you wanna submit a Freedom of Information request, then I don't want to deter you from doing that by all means.
Right. So how we go about doing that? Because I believe I've done that twice. Because when you ask for information and you go to a representative and you
Yeah.
request specific information, they take all the information down, your email, your phone number, your address, and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
did you pay money?
I didn't pay any money because I didn't get any documents.
Okay,
So
they
I
usually
can't-
require it up front.
So
So I wonder if
they
it
never
was an official, like, we just got one the other day.
they never said that.
Okay. So I believe you can start the process through, like, there's a woman who sits at the front desk who, so she works with the city council's central staff.
Gotcha. Yeah.
She would have more information around what are the processes to
Mhm.
submit a Freedom of Information Act.
Right.
Walk you back out there. I just don't know.
Just so you know, I heard that the city of Boston is very bad when it comes to storing records and keeping records. So I don't expect anything to come out of it, but we can try to go that route and see what comes out of it. I heard this from a lawyer. So a lawyer told me they try to gain records from the city of Boston, and they're very bad at keeping and giving out records. And I guess the records are always redacted anyway. So, and that's from a legal perspective. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can't
right.
comment on.
So I'm not expecting anything. If I didn't get nothing in 2 years, I'm not expecting nothing now. But we can go that route and see what we get.
Yeah,
Cause they always say transparency and accountability, right? That's what they say.
yep,
So we're trying to see if we can get some transparency and accountability. So let's try to see if we get some Freedom of Information Act and see where we go from there.
okay.
All right.
I can introduce you to that.
All right, thank you, appreciate it. Because I know I know it's only so much you can do. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting you to make miracles.
Yeah,
If you could, then you'll be the man. You'll definitely be the man.
hey, how are you doing?
How you doing?
Good yourself?
Good, good.
It's Ron, right?
Correct.
So years ago, I worked for Felix Arroyo, the father.
Oh, okay.
And I think you were still here at the time, right? You were
Yeah,
at the sergeant in arms, yeah. This gentleman is interested in obtaining email records between Mayor Janey's then district council office and ISD going back to 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm not even certain if our staff are still here, but how would he go about
You
at least
probably would check with
requesting
you
that?
lady and they gotta go to archives.
Go to archives?
Yeah, that's a, yeah, or, probably with your lady, you can check with your lady. Want me to ask, see if she's there?
Sure,
Yeah, your lady or Carrie, but it.
okay. Or do you have your lady's card? I can just,
Yeah.
okay, you can ask her, Ron, you can ask, whatever's easiest.
I don't even know if she's around.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been-
All right, do your thing. Yeah. I can't expect miracles, but whatever you can do. Appreciate your help, and you're doing the best you can, you know?
Yeah, no problem.
So how long you been working? You recently or?
With Mayor Janey for about 3 months.
Yeah, so yeah, you're kind of new to the whole system, so I don't expect you to know too much about that. That's a whole different it's a whole different animal out there.
Yeah, no, this would do.
Well, I take the
You have
card.
to do it a formal request.
Uh-huh.
So email Julie,
Jelani?
formal request.
Uh-huh.
Okay, exactly what you want.
Gotcha.
And then the process will happen there. It'll be good.
All right, I did it before, but I try it again and see what happens. Yeah, I do that.
Okay,
No problem. All right, take care.
all right.
I definitely reach out. That's what I do. I reach out. Take care, buddy.
You're good?
Yep, good.
All right, take care, Mr.
Take care now.
All right, thanks, Ron.
All right, so I have a business card for Jelani. I will try to email her and send that information. You guys can see that. I got quite a few business cards. I got somebody from the Elderly Commission as well. I went down there to talk to the Elderly Commission about Doris Bunty building not having adequate spots for the ambulance. Elderly Commission is well aware of it, so they said it's not out of their hands. I don't need to go to Kim Janey's office because there's nothing to talk to her about over here. You guys can take a look at it if you want to see it. Just want to show the people Kim Janey's office. New secretary too. A lot of new faces. What happened to the other lady that used to work here? She left? Used to be a young lady used to work here for years. She don't work here anymore? So how long you been working here? You're new? What's your name? Michelle, nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Porter. Okay. All right. Okay. Take care. Have a good one. So we got a new secretary for the mayor. So I guess a lot of people change faces in the city of Boston. So this is stuff that you guys won't know if you go out and check. And I would say that for another time. I say we can't put all our eggs in one basket. So we pretty much talked to the Elderly Commission. We talked to Kim Janey's or former Kim Janey's office, now Matt O'Malley's office. There's a lot of issues that we got to deal with, so we can't crowd them up because they're not going to deal with it anyway. So got to do one by one. So this is like the ground level. That's like the rear exit, where you come out the rear exit. It's a security guard over there. He's got in the back. She's got in the front. How you doing? That's like the other side of the city hall. If you go out the I forget where that exit takes you to. Now, that light switch does not have a plate on there. I wonder why. I wonder why that light switch does not have a plate. And I wonder why there's no exit sign in that spot right there. That's supposed to be an exit sign. No exit sign in there. Take a better view so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is an exit. There should be a illuminated exit sign right there. Don't know why it's not there. Thermostat chips. That's not too bad. All right, guys. I think that's enough for today for City Hall. Only 5 people out in the elevator, which is, I guess you can understand that. Kind of give you a layout of the City Hall if you're looking for certain areas where you can find them. Boston City Hall up there. I might as well show you this one too. This is just the floors where you can find different departments. In case you guys want to know what floors they're on. Second South. For those of you who've been to City Hall, this is nothing new to you, but those who haven't, it could be some information for you guys to gather. You got like a little cable hanging out of there. They must have had a picture, I should say pictures hanging there at one point, because there's quite a few of them hanging. I'm not too sure what these are. They look like, yeah, well, that's what they are. They're metal rods. I'm not sure what those metal rods are for. But they stop right there. Must be a reason for that. Who knows? Additional restrooms, ATM located on first floor. Not too sure what that's all about. Not too sure what's that. Hey, how's it going there? The rest of these are pictures, so this is the last literature. The rest are just pictures. artwork. I guess that's what those ropes are for. Now it explains that they were hanging pictures with those little cables. This looks like Trayvon Martin, but I'm not too sure if that is him. Could be somebody else. No, maybe not. Maybe it's no. Maybe that's not him because now that I look at it, it doesn't look like him. It's just the fact that he had a hoodie on. And more artwork. There is some more over here too. I want to get a little bit more of this and then head up out of here. Yeah, there's like 3 more over here, so we might as well get these in there too. Alright guys, got enough artwork there for you. This is 204, 206. Danger, very low head height. Restricted access. Authorized personnel only. Okay. I don't know who's authorized, so we won't go down there unless we're authorized. So this is like where they have all the records department, date of births, and all that good stuff down here. Ticket departments over there. The service in the escalators. All right, I'm headed out of here. I got some more things to do in the city. Just want to show you one of many things that I'm doing. All right, guys. That's about it. Just had to go down to City Hall, get a little information. As you guys can see, they're doing some kind of construction work over here. Not too sure what they're building, but we'll find out in the next maybe 6 months or so. Until next time, guys, Naz Porter. I'll catch you guys on the next one.